and it's supposed to be pretty stable. I'll probably have to wait next week. So that's a good thing. Yeah, it was pretty ugly storm Sunday night. He texted me today, and somebody put some pictures on Facebook. He said a tree fell on the front of somebody's house over here close to me. So I was out there running errands later today and drove by. I took a couple of pictures and sent to her. And yeah, down the street around the corner, big old tree, looked like probably a big old oak tree. I'm not sure what it was, but it had blown over onto the front porch of a residence up there, and down onto the roof. They had the roof all covered up, which was pretty extensive roof damage, as well as the front porch. So big old tree, probably, I could see they'd already, the wind had uprooted the tree, looks like to me. And, the diameter was probably 18 inches, I guess, something like that, maybe more. So, ended up the street, further up the street to the south, I guess. Another big tree was had blown over somebody's front yard. It did not damage the house. It had already been slowed up. I saw the size of it. It was probably a good 2 feet diameter. So, there was some big winds, straight line. I had a couple of branches break off here in the yard, but I don't know if it was just localized up here. Probably less than a quarter of a mile away from here.
Wow. Well, that happens, Sometimes the distance, it doesn't have to be very great to make a big difference. Well, good. All right. Well, glad you didn't have any damage like that. And, of course, down your way, it doesn't take a whole lot of wind, I guess, to push some of the trees over. Not like around here where we get 60, 70, 75 mile an hour winds. And trees survive that. But yeah, okay, well, good. So let's see. You mentioned that your roof has been there on the house for 17 years, and I was going to comment that I don't know how your insurance adjusters are down that way, but around here they seem to like to look at something maybe like 20 years old or older. Otherwise, there's real big damage, and so I don't know. Some of the shingles you put on nowadays, they're rated for 25 years or more expensive. More expensive shingles for about 30-year warranty. So anyhow, I can't remember what we put on the house here the last time. I think it was 25-year shingles, and the ones that they replaced, I don't really remember, but it seems to me like they were about 20, maybe 21 years old, somewhere thereabouts. So anyhow, have you had anybody to come out and take a look at the shingles yet, Phil? NA4M, WA4, ZSQ.
WA4 ZSQ, NA4M. No, I have not yet. Probably have, but I'm not going to be overly, one of the first ones at the head of the line. They're going to be swamped. A lot of the hail to the north of the storm. But we were kind of on the edge of it here. I know 6 miles west of me, they had no hail. We had another friend that lives maybe 2 or 3 miles away from me. He sent a couple of pictures earlier today of some places on his roof, a little bit bigger than maybe a quarter size spot, $half size places on his roof. When the hail impacted, I guess he had an adjuster or a roofing guy, and they had circled some of the spots on his roof. They were, a number of feet apart, the ones I could see in these pictures. But anyway, the real heavy hail was south of us down here, north of Round Rock and down into North Carlton, East Austin. So lots of car windshield glass damage and all that kind of stuff was in there. But yeah, I dug out my paperwork from when I had this rough farm, not quite 17 years ago. Put in on in January of 2007. But we put on 35-year impact resistant, we call it dimensional architectural shingles. So I don't know what that means, the 35-year shingle, if that means anything when it comes to time to replace it, I don't know. I got to speak to my local insurance agent down here and see if the company that I used then, which was also an insurance claim, that they're still using that same company. It's still a local company and still in business, so hopefully they're still on the insurance approved vendor list, I guess you might say. So, feel pretty fortunate. I did get out in the yard with my good binoculars and looked out the front of the house and also on the garage, which is on the faces kind of to the north. The house faces kind of southwest. They looked at the roof with the binoculars and they couldn't see any obvious damage, but sometimes they knock the grid off of those shingles. You can't really tell that you're up there on the roof, and I'm not gonna get up and start climbing around that roof. There is so many twigs and leaves and stuff stripped off the trees up there that's gonna be hazardous for an old man to be up there walking around. WA4SQ, I think, for him.
Okay, yeah, NA4MWA4SQ. Yeah, you do not need to be up there. So, now be aware, and I'm sure you are, that around here, if there's a hailstorm around in the area anywhere, well, you got these scammers that come around and call you up and this, that, and want to replace your roof, all of that. So, the roofing company that I had this last time was recommended by my insurance company. I asked them, who did you recommend? And they gave me a couple of names, so I picked out one. The other seemed to do okay. Now, all of their workers, they were hard workers, but they were all from Ecuador. All they did not speak any English, so had a lot of fun with some of those guys trying to communicate with them just for fun. So they did a good job and so on. So one thing to look out for is all kinds of scammers out there nowadays trying to steal your money and whatever. Okay, let's see here. What else? Hamfest coming up down in Walmart, October the 8th. I think I might have told you that it was up in Loveland last week, but come to find out, it's not up there. It's down in Walmart. So it's on Sunday, I think, the 8th, and we'll plan on going to that, unless something comes up. And specifically, UPS delivers Amazon packages on the front porch. They just drop them off and leave. But Susie happened to be out in the yard yesterday, I think maybe it was. She was expecting a package and happened to come when she was in the yard. And I told her that our adjacent neighborhood, that this other substation is close up to our subdivision, that there's porch pirate roaming around there. Someone driving a green SUV with no license plates on it, and then cited, I think I don't know how they knew that it was this person. But nevertheless, the UPS driver told Susie that from now on, that when they deliver something, that they're going to request a signature, on the delivery. So, used to when UPS would deliver something, they'd ring your doorbell, but they don't do that anymore. They just bring it up, put it on the porch, take off. So, there's porch cards. There's the word. I just thought, out here in the country where we are, that hadn't had anything like that. I told Susie, I said, if I kept someone doing something like that at my place, I'm going to fire a round up in the air, scare the daylights out of them. Maybe they'll think I'm shooting at them. But anyhow, I don't know. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, let's see, what else? I saw a deer down here, a buck, yesterday. That's something that I generally don't see around here. Buck deer down in this area. But heading up to Fort Collins just on the south edge of Loveland, there was a buck deer grazing not too far off the road in someone's yard, and he was moving his hand a little bit too fast for me to count how many points that he had, but it looked like he was, according to our count here, he was 4 points, so that would make him 8 for other places. So, yeah, good, healthy looking buck. And I did not see any goats around at all. So that's amazing. Okay, I got some new eyeglasses yesterday. Lenses for my glass frame. I had that cataract surgery. And still using the old lens that I had. Boy, it was as close to being right. Anyhow, as soon as I put these on, I said, "Whoa, look at there! Man, I can see. This is fabulous. I like this." So, hope they work out okay. We'll see. It's amazing what they've done with lenses over the years. Quite some time ago, my lenses, of course, they were made out of glass. Man, they were getting thick. But now, these are so thin, it's just unbelievable. In fact, they told me they were ultra thin or something such as that. And they said they put a coating on them to make them more scratch resistant and that type of thing. So, yeah, let's see if that makes any difference. And we got some photo gray as well. I've had for years, I like that. Step outside, and here I got almost instant sunglasses. So, anyhow, glad to get those. In fact, Susie's wanted to take a trip up into the mountains now that I can see how to drive. I've really felt uncomfortable driving with the other lenses I had, but our doctor told me I was okay to do that. Alright, back to you then. WA4M, WA4 ZSQ.
Alright, W4ZSQ in that for you. Well, you probably, with your cataract surgery, your prescription is probably different, so that might make a difference in the lens thickness, don't you think, Red?
Well, that's true, too, but they did tell me that, in fact, I was inquiring about these lenses. I think the ones that I had were pretty thin as well. It's been years since I've had the big heavy one. So this made some big improvements on how they make those things. Of course, they don't do it out of glass anymore. I forget what he told me that material was, but it's not Dot's land. So, yeah, but there is a big difference in the description. Your strength of description this, and I did think so. I'm glad I got the cataract taken care of there, Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, real good. Yeah, it's always a big improvement. Yeah, I think, I don't know that I've ever had, I'm trying to think back to my older parents' glasses. Seems like mine have always been out of some kind of polycarbonate or whatever it's called. But what I like, this last pair I got after my cataract surgery last eye here a year or two ago was the lightness of the frames. I forget what the metal is called. It's some kind of trade name, but really lightweight. That was one of the things I was really after. I don't like, something heavy like that sitting on the bridge of my nose and all that kind of stuff. But these are very lightweight and they don't bend, but they're flexible enough to fit well and snug enough. But I can't hardly tell I've even got on my face, so I've been pleased with it. Well, all right, trimmed deer. Yeah, we got the usual suspects down here almost every morning. Well, every day they're all around, but usually I come in here to the radio shack in the morning, sometimes before daylight. I'll be drinking coffee and messing with the radio and the computer, and turn around and look out the window here to the south of the house, and there'll be 4 or 5 bucks out there with a few deer, a few does hanging around. So it's not unusual to see anywhere from 4 to 6 bucks out here in the loose group. But here in the last couple of weeks, they're honing up on their jousting with each other. The bucks are started to bang heads out here. So get ready for the rut here before too long. Amy stopped by today. She was in the neighborhood with another real estate agent. Amy came here by herself for a little while, and she was leaving. She stepped out, looked out the front yard, came back in. She says, I wonder what this noise was. It was 2 bucks fighting out in the front yard. So it is what it is. I walked out to the mailbox this evening right before dark, and there was a young buck. He was about a small 6-pointer by our count here. And he looked at me like, what are you doing coming to my mailbox? This is my territory. And he was no more than 10 feet away from me before he decided to, walk off in the middle of the yard. And he was not the least bit perturbed that I was that close to him. He was looking straight at me like, you better not come any closer. So I went around to throw the mailbox and he decided to go the other direction. So you got to watch it this time of year. You don't necessarily want to turn your back on them, believe me. Especially some of the more healthier ones that are all hormoned up. All right. What else here? The Hamfest in Belton is the same weekend as the one in Longmont. The one here is on Friday afternoon, Saturday. I had thought I was going to go up on Saturday morning early, but I haven't second thoughts. I may decide to go to this one on Friday afternoon. They have tailgate outside tailgating starting at noon on Friday. And I may throw this huge amplifier in the back of the car and try Friday afternoon, and depending on how that goes, to know whether they come back early Saturday morning or not. I may not come back, so that may be, depending on weather, to be the biggest thing. Being outside like that, if it's going to rain or shower, might change my mind, of course, so I'll play that in my weather forecast and see what it's going to be. All right, now what else? Told you about the deer. Monday morning after the big storm, I wandered in here just after daylight. Like I said, we looked out the window to see what the deer were doing, and there was a nice possum strolling across the yard
WA-47 Yeah, possums are not the prettiest animals. They're sort of ugly. I don't know whether I've ever seen a possum here in this yard. Ain't thinking the situation where I did. But anyhow, there's not many around, I don't think. We got skunks. I used to smell the skunks out in the yard, but now it's been quite a while since I've smelled the skunk, that I think about it. And, of course, we got the raccoons. Something is spraying our patio door. And I don't know whether it's another cat. I suspect that may be the case, but I'm not sure. I have not seen another cat in the yard since we got our cat. And I don't know whether the raccoons would do that or not. And we got squirrels, so I'm not quite sure what's doing it. It's not much of a spray. A little bit of a spray. But our cat sniffed it the other day and got upset over it. So Susie mentioned tonight, she said, well, maybe you should put a trail camera out there and point it toward the door. And I said, yeah, that sounds like a plan. I'm going to have to do that here before too long and see if we capture anything. What might be out there. All kinds of critters roaming around at night, so you never know. Yeah, let's see here. Gas, I know stuff at Fort College is at $3.79 all the way up to $4 is what I was seeing. And I only saw one station at $3.79. That's Sinclair gas. And that comes out of Wyoming. They got a refinery up at Sinclair, Wyoming. So generally they're a little bit less price than other major brands. Okay, got out and aired up all my tires today on the vehicles. I try to do that once in a while. So checked them all and made some notes, some pressures, and got out in the other garage and fired up my compressor and aired up all the tires. So I'm trying to do that once in a while. Had to tighten up some of the hoses on Susie's car. Some big spots here recently. Looked like it might have been antifreeze. So I tightened up some radiator hoses, that type of thing. And that helped that, but leaking the motor oil. Of course, her car just turned over 215,000. So I guess, it's time to see some droops and drops. And of course, I told Susie in the past, I said, well, it's a General Motors product, so it's supposed to leak oil. That was the story years ago, all GM products leak oil. But anyhow, that's probably not the case today. Tommy, what did you tell me? Let's see here. Did I write that down? Yeah, here we go. He said gas back in Charleston area where he lives, 327.9 up to about 372.9. And speaking of his area, he said they had some excitement in his neighborhood. Cops, I guess, had pulled a Jaguar, I think is what he said, and pulled the guy over because he didn't have some sticker that he was supposed to have. Well, the guy, he got all huffy and puffy about it, took off. And chase. And the chase wound up in Tommy's neighborhood. And he said there's no exit. Once you come in, you know, there's no way to get out except the way that you came in. So, I guess Tommy said these guys do it about 100 miles an hour. And they finally wound up plowing into a power pole, tore it down. And the guys survived the crash. And Tommy said the guy was 55 years old, but driving in a Jaguar. So that's all I know about it. That's all he knows about it. And these things happen everywhere, you know. Oh, let's see. Yesterday morning, I believe it was, or morning before that. Down at Captain Hines, I think she was mentioned that Michelle and Greg live down in that area now. There's a pedestrian that was hit on the interstate down there and got killed. And traffic was all backed up for a long ways as a result of that. So when they mentioned that area, I thought about Greg and Michelle. I don't know how close they live to the interstate. Looked like I could see some houses relatively close to. They were looking from above with a drone or helicopter. I'm not sure which, but you could see some houses, but they were not really too far off the interstate. I try to stay off of Interstate 25. Matter of fact, there's a lady friend of ours now. She lives down at Pueblo. And, of course, that's not one of the better places to be living here in the state of Colorado now. And lots of crime down there. Got an email from her today. She was giving an update as how her life is going. She said, it seems like down at Pueblo, she doesn't live right in the town. She's out at the edge of town now. But she said, it seems like every night there's a murder in Pueblo. So it's not a very pleasant place. Alrighty. Let's see here. Looking at my notes. Extraterrestrials. I'm getting more interested now that a lot of this is out in the open. And everything you read on the internet is, someone has seen this UFO, that UFO, etc. I did see the show The Unexplained last night, I guess it was, on TV with William Shatner. One of the things he was talking about down somewhere in Nevada, quite a number of years ago, someone was exploring around a cave, way back in a cave, found skeletons of giants. These were giants. They still had some of their hair. They had red hair. The giants were, 8 feet tall or so. I think they found one maybe 11 feet tall. So I thought that was interesting that giants, of course the Bible speaks of giants. And so that's the other thing. I'm trying to piece some of this together about what the Bible says. It doesn't really say extraterrestrials and that type of thing, but you can sort of feed or feel your way through that, and seems like some of these things that's described there are spaceships, or could be spaceships, and some of these entities might very well be extraterrestrials. So, interesting study there.